This Impala's been failing to start, and we've tracked the problem down to these terminals.
Okay, both these terminals have gone bad. This is completely seized up. Won't tighten, won't loosen. So it's going to be changed out. And this one as well, negative.
So we have to pull these terminals off just as close as we can, you know, to the end of the wire. And we're going to put some bolt-on terminals in place. And we're not going to be able to pry these crimps off, so I'm going to remove them with a Dremel tool with a reinforced cutting wheel. You know, there's not even an inch of cable to spare here, not even a 1/4 inch, so that's why we need to use every bit of the length. And there's also 2 cables here, which makes it problematic to just replace the entire assembly. Doing this to try to make a better electrical contact, and removing oxidation that might have accumulated on the wire. So these bolt-on style terminals, they don't cost much, and the concept's very simple. Just put them on there and bolt them on as tight as you can get them. And that's not good enough. You can see the wire popping back out there as I pull on it. So I reseated it, reset it deeper in there, and we'll crank it some more. At this point, for these bolt-ons, adding some solder would be an excellent idea. I'll show you why later. The process on the negative terminal is oh so repetitious, so I'm not going to show all that. These are some felt insulators I'll be using to cover the terminals for safety. As I put these back on, you can see why I didn't want to lose any length. I mean, these things are tight, tight, tight.
Nice and tidy.
A couple of years after this repair, starting problems returned, and this thing was taken into a garage. I didn't have access to it. I can tell they kind of pounded on those bolt-on fittings to try to improve the connection. What I'm going to try to do now is add some solder to it. You know, I've got a number of different soldering tools here that I'm going to try and see if I can somehow make a better connection that way. So right now I'm just cleaning this up, deoxidizing it, if you will, trying to make it possible for solder to flow into both the wire and the terminal portion of it. I thought this portable butane iron would work well, but it didn't turn out to work well at all. I wound up having success with this Weller WTCP soldering station. Now, the idea with any soldering is to, once you've tinned the iron, not to touch the solder to the soldering iron, but heat the wire, heat the item to be soldered up, and let the solder flow directly onto the work, not the iron. I'm struggling with that here because I'm unable to heat this wire up enough with the equipment that I do have. Tinning the iron is essential. You've got to get some solder onto the tip, not an excess amount, but some, and then transfer. That'll help transfer the heat to the wire. So the problem we're having here is it's difficult to get this mass of a cable hot enough with the soldering iron for the soldering to draw into the wire and make a proper connection. As I was attempting to get this solder, good solder connections, I had this thought of using a plumbing methods here. A propane torch, flux, and solder, but I kind of rejected the idea. It made me a little bit squeamish, working on this part of the car with that kind of heat. So I stayed with this. What I'm trying to do is draw the solder onto the bright metal terminal in order to make that connection better. And I've had some success doing that. Whether it's sticking real well or not, that's questionable. And though this is far from ideal work, it's better than what I had. And with the equipment that I have, it's about the best I'm going to do at this point. So I'll just batten down these battery cables, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, you know what? One more won't hurt. Okay, thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below if you have some ideas or experience with pesky battery terminal contacts. And please subscribe.